It is day 3 of the Amy Coney Barrett confirmation hearings. But before we get to all of that, I want to just highlight one part of day 2 that happened after our show yesterday. Here she is being asked about climate change.
Yeah, what about it? How about climate change? I mentioned climate change. Have you read about that?
I've read about climate change.
And you have some opinions on climate change that you've thought about?
I'm certainly not a scientist.
I'm not saying you are.
I mean, I've read things about climate change. I would not say that I have firm views on it.
Why would you? I mean, you're only a full-grown adult. The science has only been settled for decades, and you will be ruling on any number of cases that are already pending having to do with climate change. Why would we expect that you would have a firm view at all about it? So on possibly the most important challenge currently facing our species, our civilization, our country, she doesn't have firm views about that, really. Or certainly not firm views that we get to hear about.
You started the whole show talking about these confirmation hearings, and I'm really trying to figure out why. I feel like I said it, well, not during the last ones, but because those were pretty contentious, talking about everything that went down with Kavanaugh. But most of these end up being an exercise, and I don't recall. I can't answer. Oh, kinda, not really, but sorta. And we don't get anything from these nominees or these people that have been appointed, and they're looking for their confirmation. We just don't get it. And they're not supposed to. Anything they say is gonna get scrutinized from one side or another. So why do they say anything? Why do we have them? Again, I felt like I said this during one of the more recent ones. We're not learning anything. You watched for several hours today, and all you get is the same things that you figured are true about her, and that are semi-confirmed because she won't say yes or no. She'll say kinda, sorta, maybe. Why are we doing this? This is a waste of a whole bunch of time. Just we know her record. Let the senators, let the Judiciary Committee sift through her records, and then we know who she is based off of that. Those are her legal records. Those are things that she's decided on. Those are boards that she sat on. Those are the opinion pieces that she wrote. That's who she is. Not this person who now decides to sit in front of this committee and not tell us anything. You've told us plenty about yourself before that. When you go to a job interview and they look for your resume, there's a reason why they have your resume. They don't just take Joe Schmo off the street and say, hey, come up to the board meeting and talk to us about who you are. No, we already know who you are. We looked into your background. Why are we talking to you so you can lie to us?
Exactly. And about, oh God, Bill McKibben had a great tweet about that particular part. We're about to go way broader than just climate change, but he said, not being an astronomer, I can't really offer an opinion on whether a giant asteroid crashing into the planet would be desirable. That's exactly the same thing. She's saying, I'm not an expert, and I'm gonna pretend that there aren't experts, that nobody knows anything. Maybe the experts are, the CEO of ExxonMobil. I don't know, maybe we'll find out, but you're not gonna find out, not until you give me a lifetime, effectively unrevocable position to rule on whether we get to respond to the climate crisis or we don't. Because we are gonna have, no matter what happens, a big battle ahead of us to get the Green New Deal passed. And when it does get passed, Amy Coney Barrett's gonna be waiting there. So that's gonna be fun. Really quick mention, probably not necessary because we've said this so many times. But she will be, when she gets on the Supreme Court, because they're definitely putting her on the Supreme Court, the 3rd Supreme Court justice that Trump will have gotten. So we just have to look back and say that whatever, different people are gonna blame different things, I get it. But the path that led to Trump becoming president and having this unprecedented ability to shape the Supreme Court, whoever you blame, that was the biggest disaster, the most consequential disaster in our lives in politics. Maybe the 2000 election launched the Iraq War and all of that. Maybe that was worse, maybe. But this is probably worse going forward because of the power that she'll have to strike down progressive legislation for literally the rest of our lives, the rest of my time in media, JR's time in media, and all of that. So that's fun. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.